I don't
not
believe
what
this.
happened.
This
Listen
is
to me.
it was garbage.
This is
that was
not
totally out of left field in that piece. And the unnamed White House.
wasn't mine.
What do you mean it wasn't yours?
It got dropped in.
Who dropped it
my
in?
My editor and my researcher.
They dropped it
yes.
in without your
yes.
knowledge, and you're okay with that?
How do I sound?
What was the name of the researcher?
Oh,
no, the researcher's looking out for his future. He's 23 and time's a wasted. I want to give him a Lexus. What's his name?
CJ.
What's his name?
That's gonna stay between me and my boss. The researcher talked to 3 different people on background, just nuts and bolts.
Asking how many nuts and bolts doesn't get this quote.
As a matter of form, he tells them what I'm writing about. CJ, I don't know who he talked to.
I sent you to Donna when you asked...
I'm saying it wasn't necessarily Donna. I mean, in a million years, do you think, Donna?
No, but that day, yesterday, her boyfriend, Jack Reese, a Navy lieutenant commander, was reassigned from a White House position, and she was very angry about it.
Sometimes people say something to a researcher because they think they're not on the record.
They're not on the record!
No.
CJ?
Yeah.
It's Donna on the phone.
Well, this is gonna, I think, get interesting now. Yes, it's gonna get interesting. It will capture our interest. It will be written about. In English, I would think, as well as Arabic. You can say that 2 times. I suppose you can't blame Will completely.
Hi.
This is entirely your fault.
He came in the office.
You like Europe, he likes Europe. He could have talked about Europe.
That wasn't the subject.
You make it the subject. He says, here's this El Salvador speech I gave a long time ago, and you say?
I like Europe?
Yes.
Listen, something's happened.
What?
A White House aide is quoted in tomorrow's Post.
You can go in.
All right.
We're for freedom of speech everywhere. We're for freedom to worship everywhere. We're for freedom to learn for everybody. And because in our time you can build a bomb in your country and bring it to my country, what goes on in your country is very much my business. And so we are for freedom from tyranny everywhere. Whether in the guise of political oppression, Toby, or economic slavery, Josh, or religious fanaticism, CJ. That most fundamental idea cannot be met with merely our support. It has to be met with our strength. Diplomatically, economically, materially. And if Pharaoh still don't free the slaves, then he gets the plagues of my cavalry, whichever gets there first. The USTR will go crazy and say that we're not considering global trade. Committee members will go crazy and say I haven't consulted enough. And the Arab world will just go indiscriminately crazy. No country has ever had a doctrine of intervention when only humanitarian interests were at stake. That streak's going to end Sunday at noon. So if you're on board with this, what I need you to do...
Comb through the language again, this time with counsel.
Carol, it's me. We're going to need new talking points for the full cabinet. No embargoed excerpts. Let's not give our critics any oxygen.
It's slim pickings.
You'll just keep standing here.
Let's make arrangements with some...
Excuse me. It is so ordered.
Thank you, Mr. President. All right, everything else off the table. What were we gonna say before?
I'm gonna be on the phone.
Danny's got a piece out tomorrow on fault lines between the White House and the Pentagon.
He writes that story twice a year.
A researcher gathering background spoke to 3 people. One of whom was Donna, because your office is one of the places that keeps breakdowns of how Pentagon staff are detailed to the White House. The researcher was given an unprompted quote, which he gave to Danny's editor, who put it in the piece.
What was the quote?
Everyone's very loyal to everyone else around here unless you wear a uniform.
I know it sounds like it was Donna because of the situation with Jack, but there's no way she gives that quote to a reporter.
She didn't think she was on the record.
There's no way Donna said that.
She did. She just called me and told me she did, which I give her credit for.
You do? Heat of the moment, bad timing. You think?
We both going to the ONDCP briefing?
No, we're going in here.
Gee, Toby, people are going to talk.
I'm curious. It wouldn't be for the obvious reason, would it?
What's the obvious reason?
You're a conservative. Maybe you'd love to see him stay on the bench. A liberal icon reduced to a quivering mass of octogenarian confusion.
Hold on.
Hanging on till he can be replaced by a paleo-Republican. Constitution's a living document. You stick to it like it's a boilerplate lease.
You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Okay.
Every year, he likes to hire a conservative clerk to argue with. And arguing with him helped me clarify the things I believe in. And one of those things is an independent court, above party or interest.
He has memory lapses. Drifts during oral arguments.
He has his good and bad
Associate
days.
justices are already postponing decisions, holding over important cases, going behind his back to assign opinions.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I do. There's no one else left, Joe. He's outlived his wife. His son shot down over Hanoi. It's just his clerks like you.
You can't do anything.
Let's go over there together right now, you and me.
To the hospital?
He'll see you. You tell me he's okay, and I'll call off the vultures.
Hey, Lisa, you catch the night shift?
6 to midnight. Steve's coming in to handle the overnights.
This is Toby Ziegler. Toby, this is Lisa Zimmer, one of the justice's clerks.
Sure, I've seen you on Crossfire. I hope you won't be offended, Mr. Ziegler, but we're keeping it to family only. You know, friends, colleagues.
I just came along to keep Joe company. I saw a coffee cart down the lobby. You want anything?
I'm good.
Lisa, I'll be downstairs when you're done.
So,
I don't know what they've told you, but he always bounces back. Joe. He always does.
sir. Mr. Chief Justice.
Joe,
I gave him the president's regards.
what'd he say? How is he? Was he coherent?
You know why I didn't want it to spread that I used to clerk for him? Because I knew that someday somebody like you will come up to me and ask me to do something like this.
So he's all right?
You guys, you think it's all a game. You're treating the court like it's Tammany Hall gone
And
national.
your side does it better. Pushing neoconservatives in swaddling clothes, hoping they don't grow a conscience, let alone a meager understanding of jurisprudence.
Maybe we could all do it better. But there is such a thing called judicial independence. A lifetime appointment. He's still alive, so he gets to decide when it's time.
What did he say? Or can he even speak?
He's fine, Toby. He was up, joking. He'll be back in chambers in a couple of days.
Mr. President,
We ready to go?
Ambassador Cochran's in the mural room and Ted Mitchell's waiting outside.
Where are we putting LaBelle and his people?
In the Roosevelt room.
He's gonna have a lot of staff with him. Yes, sir. I don't know what any of them do, but there they are, wherever LaBelle goes, 14, 15 guys.
Mr. President.
I'm gonna take care of this first, and I'll see you across the hall.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Who's in the mural room?
Ken Cochran.
You did it again.
I'm sorry, sir.
When you said the name Cochran, it was like you knew him.
No, sir.
I have a sense about these things.
Yes, sir.
A finely honed sense.
It's failing you at the moment, sir.
Cochran's in the mural room?
Yes, sir.
Why don't you go sit with him and send in Ted Mitchell?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. President?
Yes, of course. Thanks.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Ted,
Mr. President.
thank you for coming.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Hey, you're looking good.
Oh, I feel good.
How is Mary?
She sends her love.
All right, listen, I have something to do in the next room. Let me just tell you that I need a favor.
Oh, of course, sir.
I need you to hire a guy.
Who, sir?
The former ambassador to Bulgaria,
Who is that, sir?
Ken Cochran.
Well, isn't Ken Cochran the current ambassador to Bulgaria?
Not for long. Look, he's a good man, a smart man. I think he'd make a very good corporate officer.
Why is he being fired, sir?
Gross incompetence. I'll be right back.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Nancy.
Senator Lobel's in the Roosevelt room.
Yeah, I'll be right in.
Mr. President.
Ken.
It's good to see you again, sir.
Thank you for flying in on such short notice.
Of course, Mr. President. What can I do for you?
Resign.
Excuse me?
You've been having an affair with the daughter of the Prime Minister, and that doesn't work for me. But neither does a newspaper article saying you're having an affair with the daughter of the Prime Minister, so I need you to resign. You're going to get a job offer from Ted Mitchell for a lot more money than you're making now. That's why you left the embassy. I'll be back in a minute.
Well, this is outrageous. This is outrageous, and I'll explain that to him when he comes back in here.
Yes, sir.
Have we met?
Sir?
You look very familiar to me. Have we met?
Yes, sir.
Where?
I was a waiter at the Gramercy Club.
Charlie?
Yes, sir.
Charlie?
Yes, sir.
It's good to see you again.
Yes, sir.
Under strange circumstances, which, when the president comes back, I'll explain
Yes,
that to
sir.
him. I resigned my membership in that club, by the way.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. I find exclusive clubs to be repugnant.
I couldn't help but notice it didn't stop you from joining up in the first place.
Now, that's out of line. That's out of line, and that shouldn't have been said. And you've forgotten that you're addressing a U.S. ambassador.
I apologize, sir.
I'm sorry to do this, but I'd like to speak to your supervisor.
Well, I'm personal aide to the president, so my supervisor's a little busy right now looking for a back door to this place to shove you out of. But I'll let him know you'd like to lodge a complaint.
Thanks for waiting.
Mr. President, clearly, this young man who works for you has told you something about our past, and I'd like to say here and
It
now...
doesn't have anything to do with it. Oh, wait a second. You two have a past?
Sir?
You mocked my finely honed sense.
Yes, sir.
You stood there in my face,
Sir.
and it's done, Ken. Ted Mitchell's going to put you on the board of directors. And please remember that I have a lot of affection for your wife, and I would hate to see her be made a fool of.
I think it would be appropriate at this time, Mr. President, to make a confession.
What's that?
I never voted for you.
Well, thanks for trying, but here I am anyway. Gotta go.
Honest with you, I didn't even know we had offices down here.
That bodes well for me.
I wonder what else we got down here.
Bats, possibly.
Room 442 is what we're looking for. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it any second now.
You really didn't need to take me down here.
There's no way you'd find it yourself.
You're the White House Chief of Staff. You shouldn't be.
Don't worry about it. 442? Where the hell is it?
You've been really decent to me, Leo. I want to thank you for that.
Kid, the others are gonna come around.
No, they won't.
See, you gotta remember that the people you're talking about live their lives under siege, 24 hours, every day, at a time in their lives where they're trying with all their might to do good. You're in their foxhole. Sam Seaborn had this innocent relationship with a girl. Bam, here comes the enemy. I'm a recovering alcoholic. Bam. Radio, TV, magazines, cameras in front of my house. People shouting at my daughter at the ball game. Editorials, op-eds. He's a drunk. He's dangerous. He should resign.
I wrote one of those op-ed pieces.
I know. It's right over here. 442. It's written down here, this is the steam pipe trunk distribution venue.
I'm working in the steam pipe trunk distribution venue?
No, you're working in your office.
Well, thank you for the help.
Hey. Hey.
Hey.
Did you talk to Steve Joyce and Mark Brookline?
Yes, I did.
See, I was told you were just going to be working the majority counsel's office, which I wasn't wild about to begin with, but it's my understanding I'd be talking to Brookline and Joyce, seeing as how they work for me.
I was taking initiative.
Well, wasn't that spunky of you?
Sam, do you think there's any chance that you could be rude to me tomorrow? Tomorrow is Saturday. I will be here. You can call me and be rude by phone, or you can stop by and do it in person. Because I think if I have to endure another disappointment today from this place that I have worshipped, I am going to lose it. So if you could wait until tomorrow, I would appreciate it.
Anyway. The jury returned a $7 million. I'll be back in just a second, okay? Ainsley? Look, can I talk to you for a minute? All of us really trying to say, who did this? Who did this?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Don't worry
Who
about
sent
it.
you this?
Don't worry about
Ainsley?
it. Sam,
How did your meeting end up going with Brookline and Joyce?
it went great, Sam. I talked to them for a couple of minutes, and I think that... Sam!
Did anybody order a pizza? And if they didn't, could they do it now?
You know what, guys? When I write something, I sign my name. Here, I'll show you.
Sam!
You have any idea how big of a harassment suit you just exposed us to? She works here. Which is more than I could say for either one of you. You're fired. S. Seaborn.
Sam, I don't know who you think you are around here, but you can't fire us.
Oh, yes, he can. Leave here and don't ever come back. It's time for both of you to write your book now.
You can feel the adventure.
Yes, indeed.
NASA's great at naming things.
They are.
Mercury, Apollo, Atlantis, the Sea of Tranquility, the Ocean of Storms.
Good names.
First time I heard Galileo 5, the way the imagination immediately, it reminded me of the way folks in my generation felt when we heard Yellow Submarine.
Okay.
We really did all want to live in a yellow submarine.
I can't believe they gave you people driver's licenses.
Tell me where we're going again.
Mars briefing rehearsal.
Why?
To rehearse.
Say the name.
I said the name.
Say it again. Your imagination, like a child, will explode with unrestrained possibilities for adventure.
Galileo 5.
You didn't say it right.
I said it fine.
Say it again.
Who wrote this intro?
I did.
You're from NASA Public Affairs? Yeah. You mind if I give it a polish?
Is there a problem?
No, it's great. You mind if I change it?
I'd prefer if you didn't.
Just the same.
Public Affairs has cleared the text. If it's going to be changed, I'd prefer if the president changed it.
See, that's kind of what he pays me to do, so.
Look, I don't want to step on your toes. You don't want to step on mine. We're both writers.
Yes, I suppose, if we broaden the definition to those who can spell.
Excuse me?
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. President. Sir, this is the crew from NASA Public Affairs.
How you doing?
Sir, we're going to run you through the drill for tomorrow morning. First of all, you'll be flanked on either side by the Flight Operations Manager, David Narakawa, and NASA Chief Administrator, Dr. Peter Jobson. On either side of them will be Dr. Samuel Thurman of the Meteorite Analysis Team from the Johnson Space Center and Dr. Joyce Gray Sutton, planetary geologist from Cal State Northridge. On these monitors, you'll be seeing the images beam back from the surface, and on this computer screen, you'll be able to read the questions being sent in by the kids. I strongly urge you.
Yes.
I strongly urge you.
I know.
I strongly urge you, Mr. President, to act as moderator and pass the questions off to one of the experts on the panel rather than answer it yourself.
Yes.
Would you like to see some of the questions?
We have questions in advance.
Some of them. Would you put them up?
Sure. Katie, 6th grader, Green Oaks, Junior High School, Austin, Texas, asked, how old is the planet Mars? That's a great question, Katie. The planet Mars is 4.6 billion years old.
What did I just say?
I knew that one.
Nobody likes a know-it-all.
Yes, God forbid that while talking to 60,000 public school students, the president should appear smart.
That's fine. Just don't show off.
I don't show off. Stevie, 4th grader, PS 31, Manhattan, asked, what is the temperature on Mars? Well, Stevie, if one of our expert panelists were here, they would tell you the average temperature ranges from 15 degrees to minus 140.
That happens to be wrong. It ranges from 60 to minus 225.
I converted it to Celsius in my head.
Thank you.
Can I see the intro?
It's up on the prompter.
Good morning. I'm speaking to you live from the West Wing of the White House. Today, we have a very unique opportunity to take part live in an extremely historic event which, whoa, boy.
How you doing, Mr. President?
Who wrote this intro?
I did, sir. I'm Scott Tate from NASA Public Affairs.
Scott, unique means one of a kind. Something can't be very unique, nor can it be extremely historic.
While we're at it, do we have to use the word live twice in the first two sentences like we just cracked the technology?
Look,
we're also broadcasting in living color, right?
Sam?
Yeah.
He's gonna make some changes.
You gonna clear him with me?
I doubt it. Write this. Good morning. 11 months ago, a 1,200-pound spacecraft blasted off from Cape Canaveral, Florida. 18 hours ago, is it 18 hours ago? We're on the air at noon Eastern.
Yeah.
18 hours ago, it landed on the planet Mars. You, me, and 60,000 of your fellow students across the country, along with astroscientists and engineers from the Jet Propulsion Lab in Southern California, NASA Houston, and right here at the White House, we're going to be the first to see what it sees and to chronicle the extraordinary voyage of an unmanned ship called Galileo 5.
He said it right.
687 days?
Yeah.
Hi, Carol.
Hey, Toby.
The Martian year is 687 days.
Yes? Did you see this morning's news report?
I'm boning up my Mars.
CJ?
He thinks he's so smart just because, you know, he's so smart.
Did you see this
Of course
morning?
I saw the news report. I highlighted your copy.
You didn't highlight the green bean story.
No, I thought it was best just to alert Justice Department officials.
An unnamed White House source.
I read the story. I just didn't highlight it.
You don't think this is going to get picked up?
No.
Why not?
It's absolutely not a story.
Come see me in 3 hours.
It's not a story.
See me in 3 hours.
How many moons does Mars have?
2, Phobos and Deimos, the 2 horses that pulled his chariot.
Get out.
3 hours.
Carol?
Yeah.
She wants information on green beans.
You have work to do.
I'm picking a stamp.
Nobody likes people who know everything.
What I've discovered in my life.
Give me information on green beans.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
What are the police doing outside?
The door?
Yeah?
That's the Capitol Police.
I know. What are they doing out there?
I didn't ask for them.
Who did?
Would you prefer they went away?
If you're going to put a deal on the table, I'd prefer there not be armed guards outside the door to intimidate him.
I'm not that easily intimidated.
I am.
The chairman put him there to ensure our privacy.
Tell him to wait at the end of the hall.
Counsel? Excuse me, officer. They've stepped to the other side of the hall.
Cliff.
Oh, you want me to overpower them, Jordan?
I don't care if the police are out there. Can somebody speak?
Yeah. Mr. McGarry, this entire conversation's off the record. You'll see nobody's taking it down.
You mean what you're about to say, or the 5 minutes we just did on the Capitol Police?
The whole thing.
Okay.
Congressman Gibson.
Yeah.
You know where his testimony was about to go.
Yes.
And where it'll pick up once the hearings convene again.
Yes.
We're willing to end the hearings right now.
And his testimony?
His testimony, the First Lady's, the balance of the witness list, the hearings. We're willing to end them right now.
In exchange for?
A joint resolution, H.R. 172.
Censure.
Yeah. A resolution condemning the president for lying to
didn't lie.
Condemning the president for lying to the American people.
Look, I'm not
The White House can't object. In fact, it has to welcome the resolution and let any Democrat who wants to vote in favor of it.
You keep saying the White House, but you mean the president.
Yeah.
Why aren't you talking to the president?
We think if the suggestion comes from you, it'll carry more weight than if the suggestion comes from the chairman or the speaker.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I'll just call the president and suggest to him that he allow a huge bipartisan vote on the floor of the U.S. House of Representatives, calling him a liar, and that he welcome the result. Then I'm going to flap my wings and fly to Neverland.
Leo.
Do you think I am so desperate to save my ass I'm going to roll over on Jed Bartlet?
I don't think it's a
I
matter
take a bullet for the president. He doesn't take one for me. Is that all you got?
Yeah.
Good night.
Can you give me some time?
One day.
Hi. Remember me?
Margaret?
I was the one with you last night when you went to the meeting.
Yes.
When you left the meeting, I was not with you.
Yes.
Is it just an open house in here?
The whole system's gotten out of hand.
Yeah?
You left without me.
Well, if you're going to make a strong exit, you really can't wait for someone to get their purse together.
How long does it take to get a purse together?
A question I've been asking my entire adult life.
It's a non-binding resolution. Do you know what that means?
No, could you tell me? Because I've really started to take an interest in government lately.
Do you know how much force and effect it has?
Jordan.
None. No force and effect. The following is a sampling of non-binding joint resolutions from the 106th Congress.
I have a meeting.
A resolution in support of Ohio's state motto. A resolution fostering friendship and cooperation with the people of Mongolia.
I have a meeting.
A resolution recognizing the contributions of Bristol, Tennessee to the development of country music.
I'm sorry, I have a budget meeting.
A resolution in support of Little League Baseball.
Jordan.
A resolution recognizing...
This isn't that. This is 535 congressmen and senators standing up and saying the president lied and should be ashamed of himself. And this is us standing up and saying, you're right. This would be the first time in history a president has been censured. Congress isn't talk radio. It's the seat of democracy. Their opinion matters, and their condemnation doesn't have to come with handcuffs to be devastating to this president. That is the force and effect. And it's not gonna happen because of me. Have a budget meeting, Jordan.
You're the one who had the recess called. Before the Christmas break. You're the reason they adjourned.
I'm not.
You had the recess called.
It was the chairman.
You got him to do it. Something was about to happen and a recess was called and Josh was relieved. What was about to happen?
I can't tell you that.
It was you.
I need to talk to Josh.
I'm leaving now. Wait by your phone. CJ?
I saw it.
It's a death threat.
It's not a big deal.
You sure?
Yeah. Don't tell anybody, okay? I don't want a lot of production.
All right.
Thanks.
Josh? Can you come in here and look at this, please?
Donna?
Look at what?
CJ's email.
Call Frank Tenney downstairs. Tell him I want to talk to him right away.
Yeah.
You take this seriously?
Yeah, it's a death threat, CJ. I take it seriously. I had some experience with this.
Ron?
CJ, Frank Tenney spoke to me this morning.
Yeah. Josh made me see him yesterday. He filed everything he was supposed to file.
Can I see the message?
It's just, you know, it's what it is.
Could you type in your password? Have you checked your email yet today?
I just got here.
Okay, he sent another one at 5:20 this morning. Have you had cyber threats before?
Not explicitly.
And Agent Tenney says that you don't recognize the sender's address.
No.
Have you had a bad breakup with a boyfriend lately?
God, Ron, I haven't had a boyfriend, and I get a lot of hate mail. After the president, I'm the single most visible person in the federal government. Every day I'm on TV, and every day exactly half the people are going to disagree with you, and some of those people are going to hate you, and some of those people are going to write letters.
Yeah, this isn't hate mail. This is a death threat. Could I use your computer for a second?
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna need to take your hard drive.
Why?
I just used traceroute tools, and the server and the IP address don't match. The address was invented to disguise the origin.
In my briefing yesterday, I made some remarks about a situation in Saudi Arabia. I may have gone too far. I was thinking about apologizing and...
Yeah, this doesn't have anything to do with that.
What do you mean?
Muslim extremists don't get personal. They don't know your name. They don't care. They don't want one person. They want dozens or hundreds. That's why they don't use bullets. Killing one person is a waste of a bomb. He wants you. Why doesn't he want me? Someone will be by in a few minutes to get your hard drive, and we're intercepting all your emails from the address. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Good morning, Mr. President.
You're going to get Secret Service protection, but I can't order it unless you sign this piece of paper. So sign this piece of paper.
Sir, can I ask why you feel it's
Because
necessary
Ron
that
says it is, and around here we do whatever Ron says.
Well, I think it might be an overreaction.
Good for you. With all your years of training and experience in sniffing out crime, your opinion really carries a lot of weight with me.
I don't want to appear fragile.
Are you kidding?
Sir?
We're talking about one bodyguard. I have 12, and that's before I leave the house. You ever count the number of guns that come along with me when Abby and I take in a play at the Kennedy Center? Do I seem fragile to you?
No, sir.
Then?
You're also not a woman in a man's job. To say nothing of the fact that you're required by law to be protected by the Treasury Department. You don't have a choice. And frankly, sir, you and I both know that you've scored points frequently with the public and with the press by shrugging off your Secret Service and doing whatever, going to a bookstore.
I don't care.
Sir...
I don't care. You're part of my family, and this thing is happening, and I simply won't permit it. Sign the piece of paper.
Look...
Let me tell you something. The last time a member of my staff got a death threat, they missed him and hit me.
Ron, is there any evidence at all that this guy... Look, I work in the White House. Everybody knows that. But is there any evidence to suggest that... Where did you get these?
Today's email.
That's me leaving my house on Monday. This one's at a restaurant where I had dinner with my niece.